Here it is. I was raised in the church, North Orange Baptist Church to be exact, over on 10th Street, then before they moved. Mother and Dad were members there, and of course, me and my two brothers, that's where we went from the time I was in the crib until we moved out here to West Orange. I made my profession of faith as an 11-year-old kid at a what we called an RA camp, Royal Ambassadors, in Newton, Texas. We moved to Donnell Street, 2 blocks over here, when I was in the 7th grade, and it just seemed natural to find the closest Baptist church, which was McDonald's. When I say I went to church, every time the door was open, I was at the church. Vacation Bible school, Wednesday nights, Sunday morning, Sunday night. And I felt in my teenage years like I pretty much had a PhD in Bible. I began to, as I got my driver's license, experience the world. I don't know at what point I realized I'd led a pretty sheltered life. Things outside the church interested me and attracted me. Of course, I know what all that is now, but at the time it was just inquisitive. But as I grew older, I just quit going to church for no reason other than I had a job and I had a family. And when I got married, my wife was a Methodist Catholic, if you will. Well, my mother was having none of that. She got my wife to going to church here, and she made her profession of faith. And then I had 2 boys. She got them up on Sundays, brought them to church. I said, life is good. I don't even have to get involved in that. She's taking care of everything. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. My kids are getting the experience of church and of Jesus. I don't have to do anything but go to work. So I let that lay. I was feeling pretty good about it. I never had a need. We were never really sick, or I've always had good health, and the kids. And it was just the busyness of life. I was content. And then a friend of mine that I graduated high school with, and her husband, we were good friends, lived in the same neighborhood, and she came down with viral encephalitis. Wound up over in Galveston in a coma. Feel bad about those kind of things, but I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I drove over to Galveston where she was. I'm over there, we're visiting, and they carried me in. I saw her. I didn't even recognize her. She was just a little bitty, shrunk up thing. I had to ask him, is this her? And he said, yeah. As I came out, there were 2 couples. They introduced themselves and said that they were from a local church there in Galveston, and wanted to know if it was okay if they came in and prayed for this lady. I thought, man, they don't even know my friend here, and they're taking a Saturday and coming to the hospital and they're praying for these people. I said, that's kind of cool. I don't remember so much the prayer as I do the feeling that came over me when they started praying. And I can just remember the tingling all over my body. And I've never known how to explain this when I'm talking to people, but I knew in that instant that lady was going to come home and she was going to be good. She was going to be fine. When I left Galveston, it was raining. I remember it was lightning. It was one of those storms that just had lightning popping all over the place. And it was just like Jesus was sitting next to me. And I remember saying, you've been there all the time. I had to get off the road I pulled off there at the beach, and I got out of the car. It's lightning. It's crazy. I poured my heart out, apologized, and asked his forgiveness. First verse that came to me when I was heading home was, "Bring up a child the way he should go, and when he's old, he'll not depart from it." I didn't say anything to my wife when I got home about this experience. So it was actually Sunday morning when we got up, and I got up with a family, and my wife said, "You going somewhere this morning?" I said, "Well, I thought I'd go to church for you guys." She said, "Oh, great." I remember the dread. I came to Sunday school that morning. There must have been 30, 35 people in that assembly room. And I just remember the way they accepted me. No questions asked. "Glad to see you. Hey, great." A genuine feeling of love. After Sunday school, we came over to the sanctuary, and then I see people that influenced me in my younger days. Martha, Curtis Armstrong, Karen Schreiber, Mr. Loomis, Ike Pivito. I always thought he was just a great guy. As the service ended, I tried to get around to each one of those individually and thank them. And my faith has never wavered. I had a grandson that had colon cancer. They found it early, and but I remember talking to my Sunday school class. Charlie Berleman, out of the blues, "I want to pray for your grandson right now." And so he did, and he got up and began to pray. And that same feeling that I had years, 20 years earlier or more, I felt that same way again. And he's now cancer-free. But through that time, each time he would get down, I believe God sent someone for him to give him the strength he needed to not quit. I felt, and I still feel, that faith is the whole key to a relationship with Jesus Christ. I don't know how you survive without it. I don't know. You got to be positive in the way you think about things, and it's as real to me today as it's ever been. Having a wife that shows you unconditional love is the best example I could have had for me. I don't know that I would be here today. Well, I feel sure I wouldn't be without her. That has been God's greatest gift to me. I'm Kenneth, and I'm his.
The Lord set me free, and faith came back to me. And faith came back